First, let me say how great a privilege it is to be here today. This is a magnificent church and a magnificent congregation, and I'm very happy to be here with you. My background is of many different areas in the Episcopal Church, in schools and in churches and in cathedrals, and I'm happy to be here now in retirement and being able to help out here as well. At first, you will notice that there is, at the beginning of your bulletin, a poem. And I'd like to begin with that poem. It is a poem by Mary Oliver, and one that I think speaks for itself. In the North Country, now it is spring, and there is a certain celebration. The thrush has come home. He is shy and likes the evening best, also the hour just before morning. In that blue and gritty light, he climbs to his branch or smoothly sails. It is okay to know only one song if it is this one. Hear it rise and fall, the very elements of your soul shiver nicely. What would spring be without it? That was the opening passage of In the North Country, a poem by the late poet Mary Oliver. She is celebrating the return of the wood thrush, a bird native to eastern North America's deciduous forest. Here in the Pacific Northwest, instead of the wood thrush, we celebrate the return of his western cousin, the Swainson's thrush. Like his eastern cousin, he is reclusive and more often heard than seen. I caught only rare glimpses of a Swainson's thrush. The closest was a victim of a window strike at our home in Manzanita, Oregon. A decoy artist carved a life-size memorial to him several years ago, and my wife Mary and I call him our anniversary bird because, like swallows returning to year after year to Capistrano on St. Joseph's Day, he returns year after year to our woods in the Pacific Northwest. And we often first hear him or near our wedding anniversary, May 22nd, Mary and I hear him. Back from wintering in Mexico, the males return before the females to claim a nesting site. Like medieval church bells setting the boundaries of their parishes, they stake out their territory in warbling song. Now, what a blessing we have waking to the warbling of Swainson's from the forest behind our home on Redmond Ridge. Truly, it makes the very elements of our souls shiver nicely. In the Epistle to the Romans, St. Paul writes this: "Ever since the creation of the world, God's eternal power and divine nature, invisible though they are, have been understood and seen through the things God has made." He might have added audible and heard to invisible and seen. The word for power in Greek is dunamis, the root of dynamo and dynamic. Paul says it is God's eternal power that made all that is. Like God's nature, it is an end into itself, invisible and inaudible, but understood, seen, and heard in all creation. In Acts, Luke uses the same words for the power from on high Jesus promises the disciples. power enabling them to spread the good news to the world in the world's languages. In the account of the first Pentecost, some saw and heard them proclaim in their own languages God's deeds of power. Others saw and heard nothing but gibberish from a bunch of drunks. Was their proclamation truth-filled, testimony to God's eternal power, or a booze-filled bubble? It all comes down to how they saw it. It's no different than it is today. Do we see and hear and understand the universe to be nothing more than, as Macbeth put it, a tale told by an idiot, full of sound and fury, signifying nothing? Or do we see and hear and understand in it to be the eternally living, eternally present, eternally creating, eternally loving, eternally empowering dunamis, the Holy Spirit, that speaks in tongues, comprehensible and incomprehensible, languages on this planet and languages beyond our planetary and galactic confines that have nothing whatsoever to do with us. Languages of wind and fire, of sea and mountain, of suns and moons and stars, of forests and rivers, and of a universal menagerie, known and unknown. This tiny thrush is one member of that universal menagerie. On a cosmic scale, he is as infinitesimal and apparently insignificant as we are. He is not only my anniversary bird, he is the Pentecost bird, whose return is often close to the day of Pentecost. I doubt there can be more appropriate Pentecost bird than those his half-Greek, half-Latin scientific name, Capharos ustulatus, burning purity. It captures the essence of his song. When he arrives in full voice, humble, obedient, and gorgeous, in fluting, rolling tongues at first incomprehensible, it is as if heaven's windows are opened wide and he descends upon this earth to clothe it with power from on high. This one and only 2 songs it is okay to know makes the very elements of your soul shiver nicely with burning purity, divine love come down, and you realize it is not simply a drab and secretive little bird, but the Holy Spirit that sings. Mary Oliver concludes that poem with these words. You know, you listen and you know you could live a better life than you do. Be softer, kinder, and maybe next year you will be able to do it. Hear how his voice rises and falls. There is no way to be sufficiently grateful for the gift we are given. No way to speak the Lord's name often enough, though we do try. And especially now as that dappled breast breathes in the pines and heavens. Windows in the North Country, now spring has come, are opened wide. Now, listen. It is the Holy Spirit that sings.